What's going on? My YouTube world. What's up, baby? We're sitting in the office. Decided to jump on here live. Just enjoying this Sunday, day off. Uh, just had a couple crackers, excuse me. Um, the leaves are really following this time of year, and the leaves have turned really strong, and I'm kind of shocked about that. So it looks like it might be an early leaf year. Really weird, really weird. Thanks for that thumbs up. Appreciate it. Would love if you guys stopping in would give a thumbs up. Today we are doing questions and answers. Asking any questions. I'll try to answer as many as I can. Um, Hello from Seattle, Washington. What's going on? Um, we are, asking. You want to talk about leaf loaders. It's the fall season. Blowers, topics, whatever you guys want to talk about, we're going to talk about. I'm going to answer every question that I can. I'm going to try to stay on here for about 30 to 45 minutes and just enjoy talking with each other. Love Mo Nation out there. Johnny Mo, salute to all you guys. So let's talk. You start asking. What state are you from? Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, just north of Pittsburgh. South of Erie, north of Pittsburgh. Almost dead square in the middle between the two. That's where I'm from. You ask, I answer. Let's talk. Whatever you guys want to talk about. Fertilizing buggies. I got a really good question the other day on a video. How much faster is my ground logic than doing it by hand? And I did 100 and I think it was 122,000 square foot lawn and in about an hour, a little over an hour and 5 minutes. The other day, I also did a 70,000 square foot lawn, and it took me about a little under an hour. So you can move and scoot with those things. You don't stop, and that's the thing when you're pushing very large properties. It's you stop to rest, and that's where you pick up the time. What's going on, Kinder? What's going on? We're out here. We're looking to do a question and answer. You guys fire away, man. I'm going to answer as many as I can. I don't have the professional setup, but we'll answer some. I did buy a pull behind aerator cart. I cut my finger up pretty good here, as you can see. I cut it from here to here. 2K bagger. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. Is it the one with the? If it's a bagger with the power boot below, then maybe. 2 bag. What do you do when it's slow in winter here in Seattle? We have a long rainy season. I do snow over here, so I don't know. If you do your business right, do nothing. I don't see many ground logic spreaders down here in Philly. There's a good dealer in Lancaster. I don't know how close Lancaster is to you. Thank you, buddy. Just call up your Ferris dealer. Any Ferris dealer should have access to the ground logics. Excellent machine. No issues with mine whatsoever. I would take it over any of them. The steel green, the Toro one, the Toro they bought out, LT Rich. I would take it over all of them. I can't say enough good about it. It's excellent. It's easy to work on. Which 30-inch? I don't know what you're talking about there, my man. Did I miss a comment here? 2K bagger for Toro. I don't know which 30-inch. Do you have a minimum for fall cleanups? Yes. It used to be 75. It is now 90. Toro Time Master. That's the only one I like. The rest of them I don't even consider. I don't consider the FW15 from Ferris junk, and I do not consider the Turf, the bigger one. Maybe the HDX might be. No setbacks with COVID, so to speak. Maybe initially I lost 2 weeks of work, but no setback. It seems to be going pretty smoothly. Thank you, thank you. That's all changing real soon. I'm actually everything's changing. Well, it depends on the weather. Like right now, the leaves are falling pretty good, but right now I've been able to mulch them up with the plate and not have to worry a little bit too much. Hey, what's going on, Carl? Uh, Around the third week of October is when I start losing my weekly mowings. But this year I'm really trying to keep on them. I mean, I'm working 6 days a week to try to really stay on them. The leaves haven't been too big of an issue, but today, I mean, they're turned. We have orange and bright yellows already. We never had it this early. It's just 2020. Obviously, it's just a weird year. Yes, yes, I am. Yes, sir. Um, just a weird year. 2020 is been the weirdest year I've ever seen as far as, with the lawns. This has been the worst chinch bug year I've ever seen in all my years of doing fertilization weed control programs. I've never seen chinch bugs this bad. I've had merit breakthrough like crazy. We would no longer be using the product merit. Um, uh, it's even the generic forms. I just think it's junk. Um, it's not working. It hasn't worked for years. Keeping the wide out. Man, it's hard for me to consider. I don't know yet. Hydrangeas were very productive this year in my area. Yes, mine too. Yes, mine too. During the transition, when the grass stops growing, the leaves are covering the yard on your weeklies. Do you mow and discharge, or do you bag and charge additional for leaf cleanup? So, what I do is, let's say let's say that I get to a lawn and it's filled with leaves and I grind them up real quick and I get back to the truck and I write my time. I always do time in, time out on every lawn regardless. So I take a look. If there's like 10, 15 minutes extra in that yard, I'll write down 10, 15 minutes and then I'll tack it on when we actually really start doing the leaf cleanups. We're getting real close to starting that. I mean, I might have to switch the blades out this week. I'd like to go another 2 weeks before I do that, but we're getting really, really close. I mean, the lawns have some. I am. I like G5 because they're lighter. I don't like the G6 blades. I like the G5 is my favorite. Or do you completely let them? No, I try to keep up. But I try to do a couple times a year. I try to do it a couple times. My system is grind them up. If there's a lot of leaves on the trees, I just grind them up. I'm not gonna. I mean, if they're consistently falling, I'm not gonna do too much. I'm just gonna grind them up. But if there's a lot down, I'll grind them all up and I'll bag up the heavy stuff and I'll put that in my truck. I usually put a tarp in the back of my truck and just haul that away. But as far as leaves, I do charge extra. However long I'm there, extra. I do my hourly rate. I don't. It's so hard to bid for leaves. I've never been able to look at a tree and say, "Oh, this is going to take me 10, 15 minutes." Don't worry about it. 20 minutes, hour. I mean, I have some properties where I pull up and it'll take me 3 hours to do a leaf job that actually would only take me a half hour to cut the lawn. But by the time I blow everything out and get to the crunching part, what's going on, Freeport? Marketing for me is really simple because I'm solo. I don't get overly carried away with marketing only because it doesn't take much for me to do what I need to do. I need between 40 and 60 customers to do what I need to do because anything more than that, I'm kind of like overboard. So marketing basically is my truck and trailer. I mean, if you're going, balls out, balls to the wall and stuff like that, um, it's Door hangers are good. You know, a website's awesome. I'm glad you are sparring with marketing. I'm not big on the marketing. I think if you letter your truck, letter your trailer, you do good quality work, you're going to get. I mean, it might not. It takes a little while to get that name recognition out there, but it's kind of like a train. It takes a train a while to get going, but once you get it going, you can't stop it. And that's what I found. Probably, you know, getting your SEO, your website up, making sure your website is appropriate. I'm just old school. I don't need a lot of customers, so I don't need a lot of extra phone ringing. I mean, right now I have 5 messages from customers on my answer machine. We never made it to letter the truck. Quality work. Yeah, quality work that's your best customer, because when they come over and they see the property and it's done good, they'll ask, and then they'll say something, and then they'll say something. It just takes a little while, guys. You're not going to build $1 million business overnight. No matter what all these guys, you know, on YouTube and these marketing experts and, you know, Grant Cardone, 10Xers, there's a lot that goes in it. For you to handle the funnel of work, you have to have systems in place. You have to have systems in place. You have to have people. You have to have everything. And everyone just thinks that, oh, I'll just throw an ad up and here we go. Boom, we're going to get it. So that's my marketing advice. To me, it's simple. I'm solo. I don't need a lot of customers. I mean, I need about 40 to 60 people to like me and like my work. And basically that's it. You know, one leaves, we just pulled another one in. One goes, another one comes in. I heard Toro's coming out with a 4,000 series. I'm interested to see about that. I've also heard that Ferris is working on a new deck. I don't know if that's true, but that's the stuff that I'm hearing about. Do you use a 21-inch? Nothing. Toro 30-inch. I won't own a 21-inch. You can't even give me one. I'll throw it away. It's a Toro Time Master 30-inch. That's all I suggest. That's all I run. It's an excellent mower. It does great for mulching up leaves, by the way. Great for bagging, too. I wouldn't even know what to tell you to buy as far as a 21. I just would never, ever, ever, ever use one. No 21s here. How does the Time Master do on hills? How strong are you? I don't think going up and down hills, it doesn't do very good. Side to side, I have no issues, but I'm a much bigger, you know, I got the pipes, you know, 24-inch pipes. I guess it would be kind of hard if you're a small person, but I don't know. I think it's a good machine, turf wear. I'm kind of a permagreen, ground logic type guy. 46. I'm 46. Going to be 47. I like ground logic. I'm not a big fan of the zero turn stuff. Not a fan of it. I'm not saying there's not a place for it. I really like my Milwaukee. I'm sure there's better ones though, but I like it. It's a little heavy, but I like it. Yes, I sold the Tundra and I bought a Ford F-150 because my daughter plays travel sports, and the Tundra with the off-road package that it had on it pulled my trailer really well, but it did very poorly on the highway. It was hard to keep it at 70 miles an hour with those big knobby tires. Always heard, and I didn't like the ride of it. Where this Ford F-150 is smooth on the highway. Like last week, we were in Pittsburgh, so I had to drive down to Pittsburgh about an hour. Bush trimming, mulching. Yes, I do a lot of that. Problems with Milwaukee sprayers leaking. Mine leaks from the bottom. So far, no. Cool, cool. It's a great truck. I found myself stuck between Ferris and Toro 30-inch. Ferris is a lot more money. I don't like it. Yeah, it just the bagging system. There's not a bagging system there. It's not practical. Um, it doesn't mulch very easy. Like I can go from side discharging, mulching, and bagging in seconds. Should have kept that Tundra. Ferris F-150 is too heavy. Are you doing anything with GIE online? No. I've never even been to the GIE. I was a part of that original, thing with Geek to Freak way back when, but I never made it. Never made it. It was always those of you know that I coach basketball. My season starts right about now. Actually, I just finished a season, and now I'll jump into another season. And so from October, November, December, January, and if you make playoffs, February, I'm very heavily involved. In fact, one year I coached a boys team and a girls team, so it was varsity. They're all too heavy. That's a good point. But the Time Master for me is a good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Weight for me. But like I said, I mean, when you got these pipes, when you got these kind of pipes, you don't have to really worry about the size. I think it's too heavy, and it doesn't have enough of the features. The bagging system's awkward, and you can't go from mulching. I'm a little guy. It's the gun show, baby. We got the guns popping. Yes, we had 2 frost, so they slowed down. Now we're back up into the 70s. I'm trying to finish up all these aeration. I just triple aerated my front lawn. I cut it down to 2 inches. I yellowed it. I went from dark green to yellow. I yellowed my front lawn, and then I triple aerated. I overseeded it. I pounded it with seed, and I put starter fertilizer on it. So I will show you the results of that. Right now, it looks really bad because it's yellow. It's got turds all over the place, and I don't know. I don't. They said they did something with the transmissions. I don't know that they did. I haven't had to replace my transmission yet in my newest model. My oldest model, which is still the newer version, had went through a rebuild kit. All right, so I am weary of a 110-pound guy driving a 600-pound Harley while teaching the scriptures. Yeah, I don't know what that means, my man. That's good. We have 3 aerations left and might get our first frost this week. Happens quick. We haven't had a hard frost yet, but we've had a little bit of a frost. I have 7 aerations left, I think. 7 aerations and 2 overseeding. 7 aerations less than 2 of those are overseeding. Yeah, the Turfmaster HDX is really heavy. Next week's highs are in the 50s. I think they're in the 60s here. I'm not sure. I have to check. I haven't really looked. Do you bag leaves or mulch and discharge? Mulch the majority, and then the heavy stuff, I do bag that up. I don't technically have a bagger this year. Last year I had the Ferris bagger. This year, 75 is my minimum to aerate. 75 is my minimum to aerate, and that's generally a really, really small lawn. Oh, I don't know. That's a little. Let me see if I can figure that one out. 10. So the aeration is about $100 for that lawn, and then so you're looking at about another. So seed. I'm gonna figure it out for you real quick. Okay. That's about another 200 to seed it with the seed and the labor. So about 275 to do a 10,000 square foot lawn. Between 250 and 275. That's where I'm at to do that particular property. I have a. Let me see here. I have a. What do I have here? I have an accelerator bagger. I don't use fescue. I use Penn State mix is what I use up here. How do you collect your leaves? What bag? I have the how do you collect your leaves? What bagger? Yeah, just what I do is I'll grind them up as much as can, and I'll throw the rest through the accelerator. And if you have somewhere on property I can dump them, I'll do it that way. If not, I will throw it in the back of my truck, and then I'll pull the tarp off at the end of the day and do it that way. The last few years I really haven't taken that much off of the lawns, not much at all. So I always grind them up first. Accelerator does a pretty good job of picking up. Obviously, you're not going to pick up a whole bunch of leaves with a 6.3 accelerator. I have thought about using the jumbo extension. I've never used it before. I'm still in the works of maybe getting a new mower with a bagging system just for fall cleanups, but I'm not big on bagging. I don't like the bulkiness of the bagger. I don't like the wear and tear on the hydros, so I don't know, but I haven't decided. No, I'm not big on a mulch kit. It just up here in the Northeast, you really can't mulch the grass. I mean, it just grows too fast. The month of May and June, you'd pull your hair out. I mean, not really. No, it's just not worth my time. With tall, fine fescue, does it help to have a bagging system? I'm not a big fine fescue fan. It's really big here in the. It doesn't matter. We have no trouble cutting it here. Last couple of years, I was the only leaf that didn't fall. It looks like they're going to fall here in the next 2 weeks. Here, our trees are really red and yellow. They're falling when the wind blows. It's like it's really weird. Usually, it's not happening until the end of November. And I did the fold zip tie tarp bag, and Randy did for Countryside, and it worked pretty good. It works good on a stander. It works good on a standard, but it doesn't work good on a zero turn because the bag wrapped around the back of my Ferris mower where my muffler was. It burned a hole in it, and I caught the leaves on fire. So that was a little bit, and I blew up the bag because it caught. So it might work a little bit better. Might work a little bit better on a stander. So I might try that. Wasn't a real huge fan of it. So we'll try it later. We'll try it again maybe. I think I still have another bagger that I made. But it just takes so long to try to figure out how, when you stick it on there, how to tie it up with the bungee cords. It always took more time to bungee it up than it seemed like it was saving me. So I played around with that quite a bit. When you're running around, it gets caught on a stick on the bottom. Sometimes it just, because there's always sticks out. All right, sorry about that. I'm the fifth star. We have needles and leaves falling everywhere, stronger than gentle breeze. I used a bungee cord and also tried using rubber twist ties. Both worked pretty good. Um, yeah, I wasn't a big fan. I wasn't a big fan of the bagger on the side. It just didn't last long enough for me. Like I said, I burned it once, and then the second time I hit a stick and didn't know it, and I was going along. I looked back, and leaves were everywhere. So it's okay, but it just seemed like I played around bungeeing it up more than it was really worth. Any other questions here, or did I see if I missed any? Man, that's that Kinder. That's a seriously powerful 37 Vanguard with a 52. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. That's got to be unparalleled power, just like ridiculous. Well, I think if you went to an Xmark Laser Z with an Ultravac, I think your days of using that standard are pretty much over because once you get your hands on an X mark, it's over. The right versus an X mark. Whew. I don't know, man. I don't know if I would make that change, but the Laser Z is a serious machine, but it is also very, very overpriced. Very overpriced, but good bagging system for sure. Great bagging system, triple bagging system. I just saw someone said that Wright makes a bagging system, but I don't know. I don't know. I think the only standards making a bagging system right now is I think Toro has one, and I saw Skag has one. What's good with Wright's bagger? Wright says if you mess it up, just weld new plates to it. I guess that's the case with everything, really. I've never seen Wright's bagging system. DC Truck got it. Yeah, it's not even close. X Mark versus Wright's deck. It's not even. It's not even. It's not even in the realm. They're just no comparison. It's the. It's just not comparable. X Mark blows it out of the water. Seriously, it's just gone. Uh, yeah, the Radius X, that's their small, like light commercial homeowner model type thing. That's that in between. It's in between their, I think their S model and their non-commercial model. So, I think if you went up to like an S model or something like that, Indiana, Pennsylvania, or Indiana State, Indiana State or Indiana, Pennsylvania. What's going on, Jesse James? Jesse James, how's your season going? It's ending here real soon for you guys. Are you guys doing those leaf cleanups? What's up with Jesse James? What's going on? You ask, I answer. I'm not going to stay on here too much longer. Indiana State. Yeah, the right ZK is definitely a machine for sure. It is a well built machine, and that 37 Vanguard is a beast of a motor, and I like it. I like it better than the Kohlers because it's. I don't like the Horizon and the Red technology. I hate them. I hate that technology. So I like that EFI. Oh, okay. Okay. 30 minutes east of Indianapolis. But leaves are, I don't like doing leaves. There's nothing fun about leaves. Leaves are always a problem. They're always hard to do. Everything with leaves takes time, so you got to budget your time, and hopefully you can get them all done before the first snowfall, and you can get your truck up and ready for the first snowfall of the year. Oh, thinking about everything I have to do, especially when coming to leave. I don't like leaves. I just don't like them. It's just so hard. 30-minute lawn takes an hour and a half. Um, Leaves for fun. I wish it was fun. It's just I'm always behind this time of year. I can never get caught up. I'm weeks. Um, I never, even when I had a vac. It has been a great year. Quick question: now that you got to stand on, has your opinion changed on stand on versus sit down? It honestly, it's not even close. I mean, stand on versus sit down on large properties. It's not even. No, it's not. It only reinforced my opinion about zero turns. And most of the guys that the feathering of the deck, the less weed whacking, the going next to the wood line, you can lean over and go underneath branches easier on a zero turn. With a stander, it's just so much harder to feather that deck over roots and to get closer to things. I just don't even think it's close. I I'd say on my biggest property that I have, I save 10 minutes each time by using the zero turn. Um, Last year I've used probably about 3 or 4 different stand-ons, and I just don't think it's close. Okay, so DS Truck made a really good point. When I was using the stand-on, when I'd run it up into the truck, um, I would then just hop off and grab a weed whacker. About my fifth or sixth lawn in during the day, especially when it's 90 degrees, I run the zero turn up and I kind of just lean forward and I'm kind of just like, stretching out a little bit. Whereas I'm off and running with the stander. Uh, so in that aspect, and I do find myself getting off the stander, picking up stuff more than I would my zero turn. Um, I've never been able to keep my weekly schedule. I'm gonna really try this year. I'm gonna try to take a new approach. In 24 years, I've never kept the schedule. Never. About the third week in October, it goes bonkers. I've never been able to keep that schedule, and I can't stand it. I hate it. I hate this time of year, and ugh. But I try to have everything done by Monday. This Monday, I still have 5 more fertilizings. I still have 3 more prunings and 7 more aerations. I got to get those finished in the next week and a half, because these leaves are coming down. So I need to get that done right away. As far as that goes, I'm usually done by this week coming up. That way, all I have to do is completely concentrate on leaves and be done with it. But as I said, this week is going to be a little bit more tougher, having to do everything. But I think by the third week in October, my schedule's blown. No, I just use my side shoot. I circle around, side shoot them, close it off, mulch them up, blow it open, cover the lawn, go over it again, and then if there's something left, I'll bag up. What's up, Acme Mowing? I'm not a big leaf guy. I don't make enough money. Growing, I'm not sure. They grow pretty good here through the whole season. It used to be. It used to be. It hasn't been this way for about 5 years. It used to be I was done on Thanksgiving, the week of Thanksgiving, every single year. About 5 years ago, something had changed. Maybe the workload or whatever it was. I haven't been getting done until December-ish. But usually, like, the lawns are really much in control. Very little weed whacking. No, I don't think so. I think the bagging system for that mower, it would be too heavy for that engine, the 25 EFI. I just think it would be too heavy for that mower. I'm probably get a 52. I just don't bag a lot, man. I really don't. I don't bag. I haven't bagged this. I haven't bagged anything yet this year. Even when the real high grass, I haven't, bagged it. Went over it a few times, did what I needed to do, and just went on about my business. As far as leaves, I've only done the system that I'm using this year one time, and that was 2 years ago. No, I've had really high lawns in November, really high lawns, like, and it's because I can't keep up with them. Like, so probably next week I'll lose my schedule because I could pull up to a lawn that takes me a half hour to cut. I'll be there 2 hours. Well, you add that up over the day. If you cut 10 lawns a day, well, you add that up over a day, you're only cutting 4 lawns a day. And so how I do it, blow out the beds, grind them up, blah, 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 pick up what I need to pick up and be on my way. And then I'll try to come back as soon as I can. I just try to keep going through the list. It's tough to do it the way I do it. I've never been able to keep up. I wish I could, but I just haven't, and I hate it. I really, really hate it. And I really hate working in December when my truck is tied up and I really need to have my plow and salt spreader on. I mean, I know I'm going to call this week to order my salt. Last year I ordered 8 pallets, and I think I'm about at 8 pallets right now. So in October, I'm going to have to get my salt situated in my garage. That means I got to get the aerator, the Little Wonder, the stander, and not the stander, but the ride-on spreader has to get put up. There's so much to do. I'm just so busy. Obviously, you guys all know this. I'm not a big fan of used equipment unless I know whose it is. With 0% interest, guys, truly, I'm just not a big fan. Transition time sucks, but looking forward to using the new plow. Yeah. I did buy my Ground Logic used, but I knew the guy really well. I only had 20 some hours on it, so it's got over 100 now. So I do like the Ground Logic, but I knew the guy, and it had real low hours. All right, so as of right now, how I do it, I'll try to break this down for you. How I do it is I mow the grass weekly. And so as soon as leaves start to appear, as long as it's not, too crazy, I don't charge them anything extra. As soon as the leaves get to the point where they're starting to take me about 10, 15 minutes longer, I will put that on there. I'll put 15 minutes down, and I'll keep a tablet here in my office, which is generally right here. I'll write their name down, 15 minutes for that. So once I start the process of leaf cleanup, I'm no longer mowing the lawn. I am in what's called a different aspect of business called fall cleanups, and it's listed on their bill as no more as mowing, but fall cleanups. So I would say the latter half of October, all of November, and anything in December, every bill will be listed as fall cleanups. So what I do is I go in, blow out all the beds, crunch them up, best of my ability, and then bag up whatever's left. If you have woods, I'll take the Little Wonder, blow it to the woods. I use the mower to do most of that. That's how I do it. I've done it I've tarped and raked them. I've had a loader on the back of my truck. I will do a leaf cleanup video here real soon, probably this week, and I'll actually show you the pictures of the setup that I used to have. I will show you, and that's how I do it, because once I start getting started, every property could take anywhere from half hour to 3 hours to do. So I can't just charge them a double mowing. Like, guys come in there and be like, "Oh yeah, John, you just double up the mowing, no big deal." So if I'm cutting a lawn for $50 and it takes me 30 minutes, 40 minutes at the most, I'm there for 3 hours. I'm only going to charge them $100. That's not going to meet. That's not going to be sit well with the idea of what you need to make dollar per hour. So I just once fall leaf cleanup gets here, it's per hour using my formula, my rate, and if I have to dump the truck, if I've hauled stuff away, there's usually a dump charge involved in that. So what happens is the very first time that I go to customer X, and last week it took me about 15 extra minutes to grind up the leaves to make the lawn look right. Customer X then gets that 15 minutes built in to the fall leaf cleanup. That's how I do it. So this week, there will probably be about 10 customers that will have an extra 10, 15 minutes added onto their bill as I'm cleaning up. So I'll mark, I have this clipboard in my thing, and I'll have a list of every customer that I'm doing. And on that list, I will then go down a list. Was here from here to here. Once I start double and triple cutting, breaking up the leaves, I will then add that time, because you can look back. This is just this month's, this is the time in, time out sheets just for this month. So, I mean, as you can see, so this is October's, and then you know how long it takes to cut the grass. If you spend an extra 10 minutes bagging up leaves or doing whatever you're doing with the leaves, then you just add your hourly formula, take the 10 minutes. And the very first time that I do a fall leaf cleanup where I pull up, I blow out all the beds, and I start the process, we're not mowing anymore. We were doing fall leaf cleanups. It goes from, if that's a $50 mowing account, that gets erased. There is no more mowing. It's now fall leaf cleanup. That's how I do it. It becomes my hourly rate. My minimum is generally $90 to do a leaf account. I do have a couple of accounts. They're elderly. It takes me literally an extra 10 minutes. I charge $70, $75. I blow out their beds, get it, mulched up real quick. They're $35 lawns. They're $35 is my minimum. I'm usually only there 15 minutes. It might take me an extra 15, 20 minutes to do that. So I do have a couple customers that I do give a great deal on. But if you call me, or my regular customers that I'm going to be there, it's going to take me 60 minutes to do this leaf cleanup, it is going to be a $90. That's how I do it. You can do it whatever way you want to. It could be 100, 110, 150, whatever it is. It's just what's worked for me. I have found that the customers that opt out of leaf cleanups that have leaves are very unhappy customers. What ends up happening with me is they usually get phased out because, they just want you to come and go through and mulch them up real quick. Or they'll say, well, why can't you just bag them? Because it's going to take 15 bags off. That's why. So that's my biggest deal. Those customers usually get phased out pretty quickly because they do not like the way their lawn looks. I'll cut it. Usually it becomes a bi-weekly account at that point. And at that point, they really don't like their beds a mess. They really don't like the way I leave it. I don't like the way I leave it. To be honest with you, I only have 2 accounts like that, and one of them cut the trees out of the lawn, and the other one decided, hey, we have to take a look at this. I am not going to do the extra work. I will cut the lawn twice. I will go over it and go over it again. That's all I'm giving you if you do not pay me extra to do the leaves. That's all I can do. And I've had 2 accounts over the years. Everyone else is cool. So what I do is when they say they don't want fall leaf cleanup, you're going to get cut through the remainder of the year until you don't need cut anymore. Usually by end of October, November, you become an every other week cut because your grass isn't really cutting. Um, I would like to come cut it and grind up your leaves, but again, I can't do it. I just have too many properties. Takes too long to do them. I'm hoping with the bigger backpacks, with the Echo and the Little Wonder, the more horsepower with the Little Wonder, I'll be able to get through these leaf cleanups a little bit faster this year. That's I'm hopeful, but I don't know. Even when I had the leaf vac, I had to unhook the trailer, blow out all the beds, get it to the site of the truck, and sometimes we'd pull the truck up into the hard areas and load it up and do all that. It's just there's no fast way. There's no fast way to do it. So guys, that's my time. I said it's gonna be about 45 minutes. I'm only gonna answer one more question, and I got to get off here. It's been fun. It's been fun, chatting with you. See you later, my man. Give me one more question here, and we're out the door. What's going on, RB? One more question. You're late, buddy. I've been on 45. We've talked about everything. We've talked about the pipes. We've talked about leaves. So give me one more question, and I'm going to get off here. Call it a day. I just cut my lawn. I only had to double cut the leaves. It looks good. Thanks, Grassroots. Yes, you can do that. One more question, guys. Keep it typing. Give me one more question, and I'm out of here. What's your salt prices looking like? It's a little bit up from last year. I think it's 8 cents more per bag, but I'm still getting a good deal. I think I'm getting a pallet for $199 right now. That's what I'm getting a pallet for. I was getting it for like $195 last year, I think. But I have to order so much up front, so that's the problem. I ordered 8 pallets last year. I'm gonna have to order another 8 this year. What do you think of Walker mowers? I've done so many videos on them. Wouldn't own one. Coke or Pepsi? Pepsi. Thank you, John. Like I said, you're being so perma-green question. Do you like it on small lawns and large? It depends on how small. Like a 4,000 square foot lawn with a perma-green or any of them is just a waste of time. You could just push it and spray it faster. My minimum to do anything is 35. So 4,000 square foot lawn, I'm going to fertilize it and spray it for 35. So I backpack it and I push it. As far as anything of any type of bigger size, I would never be without a ride-on spreader. There's nothing even close. I do have an Anderson spreader that has a really wide spread pattern. So that makes that nice. I would not own any Earthway. I wouldn't earn Earthway spreader. I would say probably 7,000 square foot and above is where the permagreen. I mean, 4 to 7, depending on the obstacles. I don't know. Like, I have about a handful of lawns I still push spread. But the majority of it's all, I got some really massive lawns, and I've got some really tiny lawns. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. To get yourself an Anderson, I think it's 2,200. I would definitely look into that. It just depends on how big you are. I mean, if you got some big lawns, sometimes what I find is if you don't have the equipment necessary to do what you need to do, sometimes you won't go looking for that work. Like I have lawns, I got 3 lawns in a row that are 40,000 square feet a piece. So I got 3 of those lawns in a row. I couldn't imagine push spreading each lawn and then pulling one up. No ETA on the manual. I started it last year, never completed it. What FERT charge per 1,000 square feet with 10K minimum? What charge for? To me, that's just, you have the 1,000 square feet, so all you have to do is put your formula in. So, if it's $4 per thousand, $5 per thousand, and granted, around here, you're not going to get would $4.90. Now around here, you would not get that lawn at $49.99. You know what I mean? So you wouldn't get it. Like, we don't get those kind of prices. Like, you have to be within the range, and every area is different. There's people who tell me that they get $8 per 1,000 square feet. I would never in a million. I wouldn't even own. I wouldn't do one lawn where I live at that rate. The highest rate around here is probably $3.75 to $4.25 per 1,000 square feet. That's about the best that you're going to get around here. And at $4.25, you're not going to have much work. $3.75, you're just competing. That's just my opinion. So that's why it's really important to know your numbers and know the area that you live in. But I also live in an area that I cut $35 lawns. If I go 20 minutes north into Hermitage, those same $35 lawns become $45.50. So that just tells you about the area. Since I saw your video about bumping up the Time Masters RPMs and I did it, I have zero reason to complain about it. It's my ATM machine. Cool, I'm glad I could help you. All right, guys, that's my time. It's been fun. I think I answered. All right, truly, last question. One question. Hurry up. Hurry up, and that's it. We're done. We're done. We're out of here. So that's why I can't really give you an estimation on the formulas, but it would be what I would suggest is look at what you need to make. I mean, already know the cost of the chemical, and you already know the cost of the fertilizing. So now you just need to have your overall business costs, and then add your profit onto that, and that'll give you your hourly rate. And on top of that hourly rate, what that'll give you, once you get your hourly rate, then you can go for profit. So you know what your break-even point is, and then say you want a 20, 30, 40% profit on top of that, you add that, and then you tie that number right into that per 1,000 square feet, because you know how much you can do per hour. Usually when I was pushing and dragging a hose, I could usually average about $100 per hour if I had them lined up properly. I was anywhere from $80 to $100 an hour if I had them lined up properly. How I best did it is if the lawn was 24,000 square feet, it would take me about 24 minutes to push it, usually, and it would probably take me about another 20 minutes to spray it. That's how I always looked at it. But with a ride-on spreader, I am about 140 to about 225 an hour, depending on how many lawns I have picked up in a row. Let me get these questions real quick. Here's a good night, Johnny. Give you a Johnny Mo salute. All right, guys. All right, here you go. Johnny Mo salute. There you go. It was nice seeing you guys.